Hi, this is Ann McKenzie. I am a wedding officiant. I also am an ordained minister, so I do all kinds of spiritual work. But I want to talk to you today about LGBT weddings and non-traditional weddings. I feel very strongly about this. I have started marrying couples about 3 years ago when in North Carolina they changed the laws to include LGBT couples. And I felt that the government employees were not really doing their job the way I wanted them to. So I thought, well, I can help fill this need in our community. What has been the most pleasure to me in doing weddings, of course I do more traditional than I do non-traditional weddings. That's just the percentages. But some of my favorite ones are the very non-traditional weddings. I did a wedding in a small rural town in North Carolina. It's Farmville, North Carolina, down near Greenville. And it was the most fun wedding because it was two women who had been together for a while. Both their families were there, their mothers, their fathers, their grandmothers, their grandfathers, their aunts and uncles. And everyone was excited for them to be getting married. It made my heart feel good. I didn't realize that there were rural towns in North Carolina that were there open. But what was fun is they both wore a long white wedding dress, which is a little unusual. A lot of times I have a white suit on one lady and a white dress on the other. But both of their fathers gave them away. I looked at one father and said, "Who gives this woman in marriage?" And looked at the other father and said, "Who gives this woman in marriage?" So it was really fun. But the point I'm trying to make is do whatever you want to do. Most people like the traditional flow of a wedding, the opening words, the marriage address and that kind of thing. But you can change anything you want. It's your ceremony. So I do, spiritual or religious or non-religious, whatever you want. But it's all about the couple. And you want to talk about your love story and show it to the audience. Another one that I thought was really interesting, I met this couple, and she said, Vicky said to me, "Well, we have a very unusual situation. We're a biracial lesbian couple with children." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." So what we did is we did a sand ceremony, and all the children were included. So we had 5 different layers of sand, different colors, and it was beautiful, and it was just a wonderful wedding. And this was in Clayton. I think it was, Clayton. And so that's another small town in North Carolina. So it's really, there's a lot more interest and support than you realize. The first couple I talked about, Molly and Jordan, I posted a photo of me with the 2 ladies in their wedding dresses on my Facebook page, and I got more views than anything I've ever posted. It had 1,500 views for that one photo. So I know with recent news that we in the Supreme Court and everything that people think there are some challenges, but there's a lot more support and interest than you realize. And I just sort of want to let you know that. A third wedding I did was 2 gentlemen here in Raleigh, and they love the carousel at Pullen Park. And I know if any of you from Raleigh, you may know that. But the carousel's been there forever. It's gorgeous. So I married them on the gazebo, but we did the final vows on the carousel, and they rented the whole carousel, and it was full of the wedding party. Their parents were there. I was in, we sat on the little bench 3 steps up, and the parents were here, the guys were in the middle, and I was on the top, and it was great. We were going around on the gazebo with the music playing and doing the final vows. So that meant a lot to them in their heart, and I thought it was wonderful. And they're buddies of mine now. Well, all my couples are buddies of mine now because I love them all. But one other thing, that this is not an LGBT wedding, but it was also non-traditional. I had a friend of mine's daughter was getting married, and I met her, and I thought she was so cool. She did like medieval festivals, setting them up and that kind of thing. So they do live action role play in the medieval area. So everybody there, all the wedding party was dressed in medieval outfits. He was like a king, she was like a queen, and all the wedding party, and probably about 35 out of 50 guests had on medieval outfits. And I was dressed in a red friar outfit that they provided for me, that they kept for later use. So this was a big community of theirs, and they really enjoy medieval, so we did that. Also, they wouldn't let me use a microphone, but I have a loud voice, so that was okay because they wanted to be traditional. So I did the ceremony without a microphone, and when we lit the candles, we used another candle. We didn't use any lighters or anything like that. And the cake had a dragon on it, so I thought that was super cool. But what I'd like to say to you is don't, the sky's the limit. Do what you want to in your ceremony. Make sure it's something that means something to you, and it comes from your heart, and it means something to you, and it means something to your guests, to let them know about how you feel about each other. It's really one of the most fun days of your wedding, of your life, and it should be fun and joyful. And I tell people not to get stressed. If you make a mistake during your wedding, everybody remembers your wedding better, so that's fine. And also, just, let it come from your heart. If you have any questions, I don't know if you do or not, but I have a wedding site. It's AnnMcKenzie.net, and I'll be glad to answer any questions or give you suggestions on things you might want to try or anything like that. But one of the joys of my life, and one of the most fun things I've ever done for a living, is marrying couples. And I love traditional weddings, small weddings, large weddings, but the non-traditional weddings with where they go outside the box are really a challenge, but so rewarding when they're done. So don't worry about your wedding. Do anything you want to, and your guests are there because they love you, and so there's nothing you can do that is not right or it's not going to work, because everybody wants you to be happy. Okay, that's my video for today. Talk to you later. Bye.